What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we are going to talk about a major diesel crisis that is coming very soon. Now, I originally had plans to talk about a bunch of different things because there's a lot of big stories that came out today. First, I was going to talk about how we're getting reports that two of the largest diesel truck stops in the US are having a tough time getting fuel, and this is going to create even more shortages across the US. Then I was going to talk about the new low-income earner tax that's trying to be proposed by Republicans. Then I was going to dive into things like President Biden's plan on tackling inflation. And then I wanted to dive into the Senate actually blocking the abortion bill today. All those things are going to be put on hold because the first thing we got to address is the diesel shortage. This is so massive that I decided to push everything else back today to talk about this one thing. And if you know me, I do not just come on to and do a video and talk about one thing. I talk about a bunch of different things and fill you in on what's going on. So, you know right there, this has to be huge. So, let's get into the big issues because these are massive issues. And one of the things that we're facing right now is this diesel shortage. And if you think that it's not going to impact you, this will. A diesel shortage will impact every single person in the United States because guess what? Trucks deliver goods. Truckers are the backbone to the United States. This will impact every single person. I guarantee it. Now, the first thing I want to touch on is the price of diesel. Here's what I can tell you. Today, the average price of diesel was $5.55. Yesterday, it was about the same. But again, there's a shortage. So the price is not moving that much. Here's the issue. Just a month ago, it was $5.04. That was 1 month ago. That's a huge concern. And although the prices, although those are concerning, that's not the biggest problem. That honestly is not the biggest problem that we're facing. And it isn't. This is something that I've been talking about for the past about a month, a little over a month, that this is going to be a major crisis, but it's going to slowly, catch up to us. So here's the big problem that truckers are facing. This is mainly causing issues over on the East Coast for two of the biggest truck stops in the US. Okay, two of the biggest kind of franchises. They're having a difficult time getting fuel. These two stops are Love's and Pilot. Those are the two big stops. Now, the problem with these stops is that the United States, we do not have the ability to store more diesel. And our current infrastructure only allows us to send so much diesel to different locations at a time. And the issue with this is that the East Coast is currently running on fumes. They do not have enough diesel to supply all the truckers over on the East Coast. So obviously this is a major concern, right? Well, here's the reason why. This problem is, and what's happening is we're seeing a lot of freight getting released from the ports. We're seeing consumers buying more products online like Amazon and Walmart. Well, how do you think those products get to your city? They go from the warehouse, let's say from Amazon, to your specific city. They don't go there in a little truck. They don't go there in a car. Okay? They go there by truckers, big trucks. That's what they are making their way to. Okay? You see the big Amazon things. You see the big Amazon trucks driving down the highway. That's exactly what's happening. The other issue that we're facing right now is that if we see this shortage continue, the problem that experts say is coming is the West Coast is going to have to move diesel from the West Coast over to the East Coast to help stabilize the market. Now, when this happens, especially to us here on the West Coast, we are going to experience experiencing shortages as well. That's a major concern. Again, if we're on the West Coast, we have to help out people on the East Coast. We have to do that. That's not a question of why, it's a question of when. And the reason for that is because if we see the trucks stop running on the East Coast, guess what? Any food that's coming from the East Coast to the West Coast stops. Okay, any packages that come from the East Coast to the West Coast stops. That's what's going to happen. And again, this is starting out as an East Coast problem, but it's soon going to turn into a national crisis. And experts are currently warning that this shortage could peak sometime within the next 2 to 6 weeks. 2 to 6 weeks. Guess what happens in about 6 weeks? In about 6 weeks or a month and a half, that puts us a little bit past the middle of June. Well, the middle of June is when the majority of kids go on break. They go on summer break. They're not in school anymore. So guess what normally happens? People drive, they travel, they buy things to do at home. Guess what? This shortage could potentially get worse. So even though experts are saying that the shortage could peak in the next 2 to potentially 6 weeks, others say it could get worse. So be prepared for that. Now, I do have a warning for you guys. Go fill up your vehicles. And I'm not talking about your diesel truck. Okay, if you have a diesel truck, you better fill it up. But fill up your gas cars as well. Make sure that your gas cars are full. If you need to put gas in the gas can for your lawnmower, make sure you do that as well. And here's the reason why. Diesel trucks are used to transport fuel across the US. Remember back when the pandemic first started and people were saying how only essential workers, and this was pretty much pharmacists, people in grocery stores, nurses and doctors, that was really it. Only essential personnel could travel. Everyone else had to stay home for 2 weeks. Remember that? Well, this is when people got very worried that truckers wouldn't be able to deliver fuel. So what happened? If you went to your local Costco, you probably saw that there was a huge line of people waiting to fill up their tanks. Well, that could happen again. And I talked to somebody just the other day. I talked to a friend, and he said he went by a gas station, and that was exactly what was going on. That they were out of diesel, but they were also worried that they were going to run out of gas, unleaded. That was a huge concern. And again, I've seen it multiple times as well where I go to a gas station and I see this, that the diesel pumps are not working. They're out of use. They do not have fuel. There's a reason behind that. Okay? So keep that in mind. Don't wait until the last minute. Make sure you are prepared because this shortage, if it does happen and it spreads, this is going to devastate the US economy, but it's going to hurt the American people that were not prepared. All right? So again, this was not my original video for today. I did not plan on talking about this, but when I started to realize how big of an issue this was going to become, this is why I scrapped all the other ideas, all the other discussions. Again, there were some big stories that came out today, and I'm not talking about those because this right here is a major crisis that, again, I want you to be prepared for, and that's why I'm giving you this warning. So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Be prepared. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, and also, if you are seeing any of these signs around your area, let me know that yes, you are seeing this exact same thing and where you are coming from. All right? So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.